All right, so let's dive into a world that's, well, let's just say it's a little bit broken. A place where the fundamental rules of reality have been thrown out the window and all of its inhabitants are left to sort through the philosophical wreckage. Today, we're going to hear directly from them as we explore their strange, new reality and try to get our heads around their existential conundrums. And we're kicking things off with the one question that's on absolutely everyone's mind, and it's summed up perfectly by this character, Cool Doodle. You know, it's the kind of question you ask when you suddenly find yourself somewhere you don't recognize, and nothing, literally nothing, makes a lick of sense.
So the first thing to just completely fall apart in this world isn't some minor rule, it's reality itself. And for the poor creatures stuck here, the most personal, the most jarring violation of physics is something really simple: their own size.
What's so great about this is you can just feel the indignation. The dragon isn't just confused, it's genuinely offended. Its entire identity as a fearsome creature has been totally undermined. I mean, talk about a crisis of self-image, all because of some random, inexplicable shrinking spell.
And then you see this completely different reaction. It's not anger, it's just this profound, heavy sadness. The giraffe, a creature whose entire thing is being tall, is now trying to process the sheer absurdity of being the size of a house cat. It really shows you that this bizarre crisis is hitting everyone, mighty and meek alike.
And then you've got this third reaction, which is just a brilliant look at how we cope with feeling powerless. The fighting golem starts with all this bravado, this big show of strength, but then immediately confesses that it's all a bluff. It's such a classic defense mechanism against feeling so hopelessly, tragically small. But it's not just about being tiny. The entire environment is just a total mess of contradictions. We're hearing about plants that look like they're made of plastic, one-way waterfalls, and weather that can change just by taking a few steps. The fox really nails it, describing this world as both analog and yet digital, which is a perfect way to put it. It's a reality that's fundamentally glitching out.
So, when the world around you completely stops making sense, it's really only a matter of time before you start questioning yourself. And that leads us right into our next big theme, the internal crisis of identity. The fox is back with this incredibly sharp observation. The argument is, if this place feels unreal, but even our dreams are a form of reality, then what in the world does real even mean? This one thought just blows the whole concept wide open. Suddenly, the very definition of reality is on the table. Now, to help us get a handle on this, let's just ground ourselves in one key concept: subjectivity. It basically means that everything these characters are going through is being filtered through their own unique consciousness. Their feelings, their personal history, all of it is shaping how they perceive this bizarre new world, and ultimately, how they perceive themselves. And this is a perfect example of how what other people think can totally warp our own sense of self. Nassie has told it's a legend so many times that it starts to wonder if it even exists. I mean, if everyone around you believes you're a myth, does that start to make it true? It's a fascinating look at how our own identity is kind of co-written by the world around us. And here we get right to the heart of the matter with a classic philosophical puzzle, the paradox of Theseus's ship. It asks, if you replace every single part of a ship over time, is it still the same ship at the end? Dogface is applying this to life itself. If we're constantly changing, what's the one part of us that actually stays us? So all this brings us to the ultimate question. If reality is broken, and your sense of self is a paradox, then what's the point of anything? How do you even begin to find meaning in a world that seems to have none to offer?
In the face of all this chaos, we're seeing two main strategies pop up. On one side, you've got the ones who just embrace it. The Dapper Pupper suggests, hey, let's just relax and do nothing, while the Ice Dragon is finding pure joy in an infinite supply of ice cream sandwiches. But on the other side, you've got pure despair. The caterpillar sees any effort as totally ridiculous, and the cave monster has just concluded that everything is completely hopeless.
And the fighting golem is back to perfectly capture the tragicomedy of it all. He has this spark of an idea: start a band! But he's immediately crushed by the logistical nightmare of his situation. He needs tiny instruments, tiny bandmates. It's like the universe itself is designed to shut down his newfound purpose. It's somehow both hilarious and heartbreaking. This really poses the ultimate question, doesn't it? Does a lack of some built-in purpose automatically make life meaningless? Or can we actually create our own meaning, even when we're stuck in an absurd world? This is the core struggle they're all facing. So, as we bring all this to a close, what's become crystal clear is that all these different voices, the angry, the sad, the hopeful, the despairing, they're all parts of the same song. They make up this single, universal chorus of questioning.
For some, the world just feels utterly hopeless. For others, the future is just terrifyingly uncertain. Life itself seems to be governed by nothing more than random, chaotic chance. And for so many, the entire experience is just deeply and endlessly frustrating. And this quote from Blue just brings it all home. This is the eternal conundrum. That feeling that everyone else has it figured out, that they have a purpose, while we are the only ones who are lost and adrift. That feeling, it transcends species, it transcends dimensions, and the very fabric of reality. It's a feeling we all know.
Which leaves us with one final thought to chew on. If this search, these big questions about who we are and why we're here, if that's a universal experience shared by every single thinking being, then maybe the value isn't in finding some definitive answer. Maybe the meaning is found simply in the act of asking the question itself.